Life has its share of ups and downs. What truly matters is how you get through those ups and downs. Hi, welcome to Bounce Back with Coco-Chi, a show designed to motivate, inspire, and help you to overcome the challenges life throws at you. Whether it be health and fitness, sex and relationship, business, career, spirituality, life, or just about the simple day-to-day stuff that stops you living your full potential. Stay tuned as we deliver inspirations, tips, and tools to help you navigate these challenges. I am your host, Coco-Chi. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Bounce Back with Coco-Chi. As always, it's my absolute pleasure to be able to connect with you today. So, on this particular episode, I will be exploring the topic friendship. This topic will require me to invite real friends to explore this with me. As we all know, people have different opinion when it comes to friendship. There are good and bad friendships. There are friends that help us to thrive, and there are also toxic friendship. There are friends that will hinder our progress. So today, to kick off this topic, my guest is a really good friend of mine, Jane Okafor. Before I introduce her, I'm going to read Jane's bio and tell you a little bit of her, and then she can do the rest. Jane is a wife and a mother of 3 wonderful children. She completed her first degree in Nigeria in mass communication, and she's currently studying for her master's in education. Jane has been privileged to have had the opportunity of being a diplomatic trailing spouse, moving from one country to another every 4 years for diplomatic duties, and this has given her a valuable experience in world affairs. Jane believes in giving back to vulnerable communities all over the world. She enjoys reading, walking, and traveling. She loves motivating people and always aspiring to inspire others, learning from others, and most importantly, she never gives up. Welcome to Bounce Back with Coco-Chi. Jane, can you please tell us a little bit more about you, something that is not in this bio, so that our listeners can know more about you?
Thank you very much, Coco-Chi. It's my absolute pleasure to be here today. One fact, I'm a polio survivor. I don't think I mentioned it in my brief bio. That's one fact. Like you have mentioned most of it already on my bio. I currently live in Belgium. After having lived the last 4 years in Zambia, we just moved back the June of 2020. So we're now back in Belgium at least for the next 4 years.
Wow, awesome. So, what was growing up like for you? Like, what do you remember about your childhood?
Well, one of the most thing I remember about my childhood was my experience when we grew up in Lagos. I always have this vivid memory of every Sunday, my dad would, after church, my dad would take us to what was in those days called amusement park in Lagos. And I used to love the merry-go-round, the one where you sit in a cup, in a papa. And that's one of my best. I know it sounds silly, but it's when I remember my childhood. I remember that those occasions where every Sunday we used to go out in Lagos. Maybe because after those periods we went through a very tough time in my family. So it's one of my fondest memory growing up in Lagos and going up every Sunday to the amusement park in Apapa and just sitting in that cup and going round and round. I remember my parents would have to drag me out each time to go home.
So your childhood was a very fond memory, one that you will always remember.
Yes, I mean, it did have the ups and downs after those memories, but you try to balance the good out with the bad. That's what makes life worth living, right?
Mm-hmm. That is so true. So, like I said in our topic today, it's about friendship. Can you remember how we met?
Oh, yes, of course. Very, very definitely. I'm laughing because sometimes I say social media is horrible because you meet good and bad and terrible people. But one of the good experiences of the positives on social media. So Coco-Chi, we actually met on social media. We met on Facebook in a group in those days back in the early, 2000,
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
in a group which we later left. Yeah, but I can mention the group. It was Nigerian women married to Oyibo, which is what we call
Absolutely.
white
Yeah.
men. That's how
Yeah.
we met.
I remember that group. The
Yeah,
crazy group.
oh, it was a crazy group. But you know what? I want to say I took out the best in the group and used it to build a solid foundation in friendship for myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've come a long way. See, from that 2000, I can't remember, 2000, was it nine or nine?
I think it was
No,
about 2007, 8,
7. Yeah.
seven
I
or
think it was
8.
the year Facebook actually started, actually.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, 10 years ago now. It's just like, wow, it's a
Yeah,
long, long friendship. And we're still standing. We kind of actually have done a lot of things, together. As we're not actually friends anymore. We're kind of like sisters. Do you,
exactly.
do you get that? Do you think that's how this friendship now feels like? It's not just like friends anymore. It's like, sisters. Although we are not blood sisters.
No, but that's what it has become. It has evolved from a simple friendship to a tight friendship, and now it's a sisterhood and a family for me.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm. That's beautiful. Yeah. So, what does friendship mean to you?
Well, it's a big thing to decide, so I'm going to keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
Friendship for me is loving my friend as much as I love myself. It's going the extra mile for my friend. It's
Mm-hmm.
being able to tell my friend, babe, hell no, you feel this. It's being able to be honest. It's being able to keep it real. It's being able not to have to explain myself all the time to my friend.
Mm-hmm.
It's me understanding my friend and my friend understanding me. It's me selecting the good and the bad because nobody is perfect and balance it up.
Mm-hmm.
And when I put all these things together, a friend is a sister to me, a friend is a family to me.
Mm-hmm.
And just like I would go an extra mile to the end of the world for my family, I would do that the same for a friend. So for me, it's simple. Friendship is the person that gets you and you get the person. And you are totally honest with each other as much as you can without being angry with yourself all the time. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
that does not mean it's perfect. It's as simple. It's exactly like having a sister at home. You fight with your sister, you quarrel with your sister. That's
Mm-hmm.
exactly the same things friendship means to me.
So it's a mutual, relationship. Respect goes both ways. So it's not
Yes.
one-sided. It has to be both ways.
Oh, yes, all the time. If it's one-sided, then there's a problem. We need to get
Mm-hmm.
out of it. That's not
Mm-hmm.
friendship.
Absolutely. It's like was the enemies in building, whatever. So yeah, we've talked, beautiful, beautiful thing what you've just said, what friendship means to you. But then there are, negative assumptions most people make about friendship. What are the negative assumptions most people make about friendship? Some people, I think we've actually received some negative assumptions from other people. You are aware of it. I'm aware of it. But what do you think?
That's quite a broad one, so I'm going to try to keep it as simple and as coordinated as I can. People have this view that if you're too close, like, I mean, my best friend, people assume because we call ourselves friends that we're too close. We've had accusations of, for instance, oh, are you ladies lesbian? No, we're
Yeah.
not.
I was
We
waiting for that word to drop.
are not. We're just good friends. We're sisters. People assume that if you have a friend and you're good friends, that you're responsible for that person. No, I am not responsible for the mistakes my friends make. We are
Mm-hmm.
friends, but they're still adults and can still make their decisions. People assume because we are friends does not mean that I have to have your back all the time or agree on every single thing you say. For me, that's not true about friendship. Actually, then you start talking about when friendship starts becoming toxic, if you get what I mean. It does not mean I need to get along 100% with all your other friends.
True.
Sorry. That I'm best friends with you does not mean I have to be, your husband now has to be best friend with me, or your husband has to be best friends with my family. Sometimes it works that way and sometimes it does not. So it's a bit of a complicated answer
Yeah, it is.
to give.
Yeah, it is a bit complex. Another way I would look at that, some negative assumption people kind of make too. It's like, when people see a group of women, especially the women, together doing things, supporting each other. There's a lot of people, outsiders, they're outside looking at these women and saying, what is it that, put them together? There must be something, like you mentioned before, lesbian or something, they
Yeah,
must be doing something. There's something that is bonding them for them to stick together for this long. And, you never hear them fight or say anything wrong or something like, or bring their dirty linen on the whole social media.
exactly.
There must be something that is happening, but actually, they don't know that these particular women, they're adults. They all got their own thing going on with them, and we're not actually, seeing each other all the time. I'm saying with my own friends now, we're not seeing
Exactly.
each other all the time. We actually live in different countries, and we make particular time to see each other. I know this whole COVID-19 has kind of like dampened everything, has put a strain on, friendship. It's not just ours. A lot of people and families as well. So, but people kind of think, this group of women, there must be something more than just being friends. There must be something they're into or something like that. And that's sometimes it kind of worries me that people think that it's not possible to have real tight friends that come together and do something, love each other without them thinking there must be something bad. You see where I'm coming from.
Yeah, for in that case, I narrow it down to their insecurities. And I've come to the point in my life where I do not fuel anybody's insecurities. It's not my job to make you feel good about yourself or make you think differently of things that you assume to know about people you don't know. So I leave them to their insecurities. I've gone past the age where I need to explain myself to people or to start explaining, well, we saw pictures. You went out with your friends. Well, these are friends I've not seen in a year. And even if I decide to see them every week or every month, or we decide to do
It's
things
your
every week,
business.
it's our business, it's our problem, not yours. So I've gotten to the point where I really do not feel I owe anybody any explanation, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So that brings me to another question, like, what do you, value in a good friend, and how do you want your friends to value you?
For me, my most important rule and trait in friendship is honesty.
Mm-hmm.
Honesty to each other, because for me, honesty creates a bond. When you trust your friend 100%, you guys are on a very solid place because nobody, and I mean nobody, can come in between you. For me, the biggest thing about friendship is being honest,
Yeah.
being kind,
Mm-hmm.
being loyal, and being generous,
Yeah.
and having the back of your friend. But I said not having your back to the point of where people say ride or die. I don't believe in ride or die. We ride and we come back.
Yes. Oh, yes. And then we keep riding.
Oh, yes, there's no need to die
No
in the
ride or
riding.
die
No,
affairs.
no.
Yeah, that is awesome. I totally, totally love that. So, lastly, do you think human connection, especially friendship, is very important for our overall health, success, and happiness?
Oh yeah, Coco-Chi. I cannot even begin to explain more. And
Mm,
if the last year has taught us anything more than usual, we now understand the importance of human
mm-hmm,
connection.
mm-hmm,
I was saying to a friend a couple of weeks ago, I mean, I know it's difficult sometimes for an African woman to
mm,
acknowledge that they are depressed, but I can
mm-hmm,
say that I think a couple of weeks ago, I went through a bit of a slight depression, but I have myself under control. And that was because I just realized that I miss my friends. I
Yeah.
have a wonderful family and I love them till death, but sometimes it is beyond them. It goes beyond them. I just realized how much I missed my friends. I missed going out. I missed having that choice to be able to jump into a plane or a train and
Mm,
sit and hang. I miss it. So basically, friendship is key in life. No man is an island. You
mm-hmm.
cannot survive alone. I do not care what anybody says. But of course, the next question is how many friends do you want to have? I
Yeah.
always say if you're blessed enough to have one solid friend, it's worth a million
It's
other
enough.
useless ones,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak. So for me here, friendship is key. We've all
Yeah.
learnt it. We need
Mm,
that as for our human connection.
mm,
Yeah.
mm. That's beautiful. Absolutely. So, any last word, any inspiration or motivation for our listeners? Any encouragement to share to this whole topic of friendship?
All right. My last word is in terms of friendship is no good friendship is built on a day.
Mm,
Or even in a year, it grows. And you have to give it time. You
yeah.
need to understand the person and make opportunities for them to make mistakes. Don't give up on a friend because they make mistakes. You have to be open to mistakes. You have to build it. It's like building a house. That's how friendship is till you get to the point where you are happy. Your friend, you always need to be honest with them. And maybe also do not expect too much from your friends. Don't over expect.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people over expect things from their friends and then you feel they have disappointed you where they think they have not disappointed you, and know which friendships to keep and which friendships to let go. I'm somebody that likes making friends a lot. And
Easily, yeah.
and I
Mm,
I have gotten so backstabbed, I've gotten hot, and
mm.
I kept waddling in drifting in this water of having to know how to, or when you stopped being friends with somebody, it would break my heart so much. Till about 15 years ago, somebody sent me a poem by Maya Angelou, which I would like to drop.
Oh,
Look
please
at
do,
it.
yeah.
It's a poem about friendship being for a season,
Mm.
a reason, and a lifetime. When I read that poem and I understood it, everything became very clear to me. So if you have time, look for it. It's called a poem on season, reason, lifetime friendship. Once you read that poem and you truly understand it, I tell you, it makes a lot of things clear. And then you know when to keep some people in your life and when to let go.
Let go.
Yeah.
Mm. Oh, that's beautiful. I think I've heard about that poem. I might go and reread it again.
Oh, yes, you do,
Yeah,
because it
I
puts
will
a lot of
definitely
things in
go.
perspective.
Yes, I will definitely go and find that and reread it again. So before we go, I know you run a charity in Africa with some
Yes.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So could you tell our listeners a little bit about that and how we can support?
Okay, I'm the co-founder and the director of Chance for All, which is an NGO situated in Zambia. And basically, what we do is our NGO is set up to help vulnerable kids from vulnerable communities, kids that have been out of school for a lot of time for financial reasons, a lot of time because parents can't afford it or just don't understand. We identify these kids, we identify them with sponsors, match them with sponsors, send them back to school, and we follow up. We just don't put them in school. We run mentoring programs, we run tuition programs, and we basically follow up with the kids. So it's giving these kids the basic rights of life, which
Mhm,
is education. Every child
mhm.
needs to be educated. You can find more. I mean, I can talk about this the whole day, so I'll just keep it simple by
Please
saying
do keep it simple and please do.
you
Yeah,
can,
any more information would be
yes,
good because then and again, well, how we can all support as well because it sounds like a very worthy cause to support.
it is worthy and it is very fulfilling. I mean, you can find more information on www.chanceforall.org. That is
Mm-hmm.
www.chanceforall.org,
Yeah,
or
we've
on our,
got
on,
that. Yeah.
on our Facebook page, Chance for All. In fact, which way can you support? Coincidentally, starting from the 8th of March project we have just launched, which is a sensitization program, creating awareness to sensitize girls that there's no difference between a girl child and a boy child. Thing is too small. It can be 10, 50, whatever, whichever amount, and support what we do. If you're feeling like you really, really like what we do, you can also decide to sponsor a child. Take a primary school child, a secondary school child, support our nutrition program, support our mentoring program. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Awesome. Beautiful. This is so beautiful. Jane, thank you so much, so much for coming to share the wonderful story and also, giving us some information and inspiration as well to kind of navigate this topic that is friendship. Is a very broad one. Thank you so much for coming on board and sharing. Guys, remember, it doesn't matter how deep you fall. What matters is how high you bounce back.
Fantastic.
Please,
I love that.
yes.
Very much for having me.
Thank you. God bless you.
Bless
Yeah.
you too. Keep safe.
Okay.
All
Take
right.
care. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Bounce Back with Coco-Chi. If you find value in this podcast, would appreciate a rating on iTunes. Please check us out on Instagram at Lifestyle Talk with Coco-Chi. As always, please subscribe to the podcast to catch every new episode and leave us a review so we can continue to bring you fresh content. See you next time for another episode.